ورحمة الله وبركاته. How are you sir؟ أخي حبيب.
الحمد لله.
كيف
وأنت؟
كان يومك؟ الحمد لله. هل أنت متحمس لندرس؟ Are you excited for us to study?
نعم.
Do you like the grammar side of things?
Yes, I do. I think it's like mathematics.
Right?
For years I've been looking. I have looked at it before, but it's just it's trying to make sense of everything, and it's like like we was talking about. It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? It's good to learn a lot of grammar, but
Mm,
then if you don't know the structure of how to make a sentence, it'll be like someone, a foreigner, speaking to you in trying to speak your language. It'll be all broken up, if you know what I mean.
yes. I've Although this is a lot that we've gone through so far, I feel like it just feels a lot because I'm literally trying to cram it into like the shortest possible amount of time, and I'm speaking fast, and I'm just like information, 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 information. The thing is, honestly, like the reality is, if I was thinking about it last night, if we literally just go to like this idea and we just say marfu' and majroor and mansub, okay? And then we only look at this type of word and we just say, okay, this type of word can either look like this or like this or like this. Just depends what it's doing in the sentence.
Hmm.
That by itself in isolation is super easy to understand. You just
Yes.
need to memorize these three things and then you
Mhm.
just say done, din, done.
Yes.
That's what makes it feel complicated is that we're taking every single one of them out of isolation and throwing them all at the same time. But as we said, like, if I just say masajidu and then I just take that word, and I just put it into here, and we only look at this for like 2 weeks, only this type of word, it wouldn't be that difficult. It's just like, oh, okay, instead of that, it's just that. Oops,
Mm.
you know, and then it's just that. So like that one thing by itself is not complicated. Would you agree? It's
Yeah.
just if I show you 20 of them, that's where it's like, whoa, this is a lot. But each individual thing in isolation is actually really simple. So
Mm.
we will go back to it. Oh, so what I was planning to do once we've done this for the people that are interested
Mm.
is, for example, we're going to go through. It's like I was just reading of the script that we've made, and it's like it's going to be a lot more interesting because now we see like, okay, this word has a kasra. So let's just look today in the lesson. Every time we see like a kasra or we see like a harf jar, then we'll look at the noun after it and we'll think, okay, what's this and why is this? And we can just refer back to it. And in that way, I think it will make a lot more sense. Assalamu alaikum,
Yes.
ya Abdullah.
السلام عليكم.
Are you here, sir? Cool. Okay. So what I've decided to do is basically I've made a table for you guys, and we'll refer back to the other table. I don't want to talk about. We've talked about mansub, yeah. So we've talked about like marfu' and majroor and mansub, but we've not talked about the two main reasons that I wanted to discuss, which is the object of the verb and ism kana, and this is khabar kana. Okay, so if we have kana in a sentence, it will make something mansub, right? So we've not talked about that. What I want to do is basically a recap on what we've discussed so far instead of like a new lesson. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're on the same page. So we're basically what I want you guys to discuss is this is more like just let's just see how far we can get down this table and let's try put the endings on the words. Okay, so let's get started. So masjid, what's the vowel on the word? We can
It'd
take
be
turns. So Habib, you start, yeah.
that would be a Dhamma.
So one or dhammatain?
Dhammatain is the default.
Masjidun. Yes. Okay, this one. Abdullah?
فتحتين
Majroor.
أو كسرتين. My bad.
Kasratain. Okay, Habib.
That'll be Fathatain.
Okay, and then the fatatain comes with the alif, yeah. Okay, now this one. So this is we may as well just rotate and then we'll ask questions as we get along. So Abdullah,
This will be Al Masjidi.
marfu' al masjidi. Abdullah, your opinion? Yeah.
المسجد صوان ضمة.
Yes. Al-masjidu. Yeah.
Yes,
We're not
yeah.
talking about
No,
masajid. We're making this from nakira, which is indefinite, meaning just a masjid, and we're putting the lam at ta'rif. So
yeah,
this lam here is actually the thing considered in the grammar, which makes the word definite, i.e., not meaning a masjid, but the masjid. Yeah.
the masjid. Yeah, I
So
would
the hamzatul
completely.
wasl is to facilitate the pronunciation, because it would be weird to just start like this,
Yeah,
like masjidu. But this is the thing that makes it definite. So we've just gone from a masjid to the masjid. Okay, so what's this one? So Habib, your turn, and then Abdullah, and
that
then
would
we'll.
be if it's majru al masjidi, that would be al masjidi.
Okay, Abdullah.
And then المسجد والفتحة.
Okay, Habib. So now we have masajid. This is mamnu' min as-sarf.
Mamnoon min al sarf. I believe that it can't take a dhamma. Is it? Would that be masajida?
Okay, it doesn't like two things. Abdullah, do you know what they are?
It doesn't like تنوين, if
Yes.
I'm not mistaken, and
Yes.
كسرة.
Yes, sir.
Correct. So it won't be like this, and it won't take a kasra. Okay, so what's this one going to be? Whose turn is it?
It'd be
Uh,
masjidi. It doesn't like a kesra. It'd be a fatah, right?
but it's marfu'. Okay, so look,
Marfu. So it'd be
masjidun, al masjidu,
masajidu.
masajidu. Okay, Abdullah,
مساجد.
masajida. Habib,
Masajida.
yes. Okay. So, for example, we're going to look at this word right here. Okay, لدي حجز إلى جدة. Why does it have a fatha? One single fatha because it's mamnu' min as-sarf. So we have an ism. So we have the harf jar, which makes the ism after it majroor, and here we have a word which is a proper noun, which is a name or a place. So jiddatu or mekkatu. So if we have Mecca here, it will say ila Mekkata. Okay. So it looks like it's mansub, but it's actually majroor. Why? Because it's here in this spot. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. If we put lam at-ta'rif, Abdullah, what's this going to be?
المساجد.
Al-masajidu. Okay, Habib,
Al masajida.
what do you think, Abdullah?
المساجد.
Yes. So when we take the word which is mamnu' min as-sarf and we put the lam, the definite article, we put this al on it, okay? It becomes normal, like normal mu'rab. So same like this. Okay?
Right.
So only when it's indefinite, this is definite, yeah? Only when it's indefinite does it follow this pattern. But if we put al on it, then it becomes
Back
normal.
to normal.
So what would this then? Yeah, what would this then be? Habib.
That would be al masajidi as well.
Okay, what do you think,
Can't be
Abdullah?
done.
المساجد.
Yes. Okay, so we have masjidun, masjidin, masjidan. Okay, then we have al masjidu, al masjidi, al masjida. Then we have masajidu, masajida, masajida. Al masajidu, al masajidi, al masajida. So basically, when we put this on, it's just nullified this rule. Just think of it like that, okay? You following?
Yeah.
Okay, we have Hamza. So Hamza is a proper noun, it's a name of a person, and it's mamnu' min as-sarf. So how would this one look then? It will follow the same rules as this, yeah? So Habib, you go.
Hamza too.
Hamza too. Okay. Abdullah? Your microphone's off. You're speaking. Yeah, we can't hear you, Abdullah, if you're speaking, yeah.
Sorry, I had to go to my nephew.
That's okay.
Sorry, what was the question?
So we have Hamzatu. If it's majroor, what will it look like?
I think it would be Hamzata or Hamza.
Hamzata.
No.
Yeah, correct. And if it's mansub, Habib?
Be Hamzata.
Okay, so just to be clear, this is mamnu min as-sarf, and this is also mamnu min as-sarf. Make sense?
Yeah, I can see a pattern now.
Okay, now we have words like Musa, which we called ism maqsoor. I've put a couple different ones here, just to give us like a bit more. So, do you remember what we talked about here, Abdullah? What do you remember?
Yeah, it's Mebni. So no, actually it's not Mebni means
Not
declinable, right? If I'm not mistaken.
no, it's mu'rab.
Yeah,
It's
Mu'rab
more
means
Mu'rab
declinable.
is
Mabni.
declinable, but it never changes like the way
So
it's
it
written.
w- the way we would think about it is that we don't see an apparent sign. The easiest way it looks like it's mabni. So mabni comes from the verb like to build. So think of mabni as being like it's built, it's set. You put a building there, you don't just change it around like it doesn't move, it just stays. It's built like that, yeah.
Mhm.
Mu'rab is meaning declinable. So the reason this one is not put into the category of mabni is because if I just bring up this 1 second. You see this on my screen?
Yeah,
Remember, we said the scholars just basically said everything is mu'rab except for the following, and they put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The names of people or places are not in any of those 7 categories, which we talked about a bit yesterday. Okay, so because Musa is not like a word like hadha, and Musa is not, like a pronoun like huwa, for example, it falls under the same category as all the different names in the fact that it's considered declinable. Okay, it's just that it has no apparent sign for us to see. So that's kind of the way to think about it. Okay, but basically, if Musa is marfu'a, how will it look? Will it have anything? Will it be written like this? Should we put something on the end? Do we say Musa on, or how do we write it?
As it is.
Okay, if it's majroor, Abdullah,
it would be the same.
and if it's mansub, Habib?
It'll be the same.
Yes. Okay, so this is what is the word mustashfa? What does it mean? Somebody.
Hospital?
Yes, hospital. So this means a hospital. Okay, if it's marfu', if it's majroor, if it's mansub, it remains like this. Agreed?
Yeah,
Right.
We don't see any changes. It doesn't become like mustashfa-i or like, mustashfa-ya or something like this. This is not a ya anyway, it's just an alif. Okay. The same thing I noticed, when I was reading through some stuff that like if we have a word that has an alif built into it, like as-safa, when you go to Mecca and you go between Safa and Marwa,
Mm.
so as-safa is written like this. So the same thing, it's it's set like this. Okay? So if you can say هذا الصفا, or you can say ذهبت إلى الصفا, or بين الصفا والمروة. So does that make sense to you guys? These ones basically they just don't move. They just stay like this. Are we on the same page?
yeah, yeah.
If we add al and make it from a hospital to the hospital, what do you think, Abdullah? How will it change or will it remain the same?
I think it would be the same.
What do you think, Habib?
I think it would still stay the same.
Exactly. Okay. So all of these, this is called ism maqsoor. Okay, asma maqsoora. So like basically, what that means is that they don't change. They're considered declinable, but they don't have any apparent change for us to notice. So if we have a sentence, okay, where we said, let me just open my random notes just to make this clear. Okay, let's say we said daraba. Does anyone know what that means?
To hit.
Okay, yes. And then we said Muhammad. And then we said, Hamid. Let's say Muhammad is doing the hitting and Hamid is being hit. How would we? Does anyone have an idea of how we would put the endings on Muhammad and Hamid? So
So,
Hamid is hitting, and sorry, Muhammad is hitting, and Hamid is being hit.
right, because Daraba is first, that's questioning if someone's hitting. So Daraba is he's hitting. So you ask the question, who's hitting?
Mm,
If you was to put Muhammad, you'd put him into a marfu state, Muhammadun,
okay.
and
And then Hamid,
Hamidan.
Hamidun. What do you think, Abdullah?
I
Are you
agree
there?
that Hamidan is the object, so he's the one that's being
Yes.
hit.
So the
Muhammad,
doer of the verb. You're exactly right. So the doer of the verb is Muhammad, and the object of the verb, as in the thing being hit, will be mansub. So the doer is marfu', yes,
mm,
and the object is mansub. Okay, that means that if we were to put this like this, the meaning is still the same. I think we've discussed this in the past, correct?
yeah,
If we
Yeah.
were to put this like this, then the meaning is like maybe there's like a little bit slightly different way of thinking about it, but basically the meaning, even if we reorder it, then Muhammad is hitting and Hamid is being hit. However, if we change this like this and we make it like that, then the meaning of the word, the sentence changes. Are we agreeing with that?
yeah.
Mm.
Does that make sense
Just
to
a
you
quick,
guys?
just a quick one. I don't want to confuse anything, but say if you put Daraba, Muhammadun, and Hamidun both in marfu state, would that be both of them are hitting something else or
You would
not?
have to put like where. This is
Right.
let's talk about, that's a different discussion that we'll
Mm.
talk about when we talk about
Further down the line.
just the two types of sentences, something we've not discussed. Okay, like nominal and verbal. We can talk about that sometime in the future. Like if you guys
Mm.
like the grammar lessons, I'm happy to add like grammar lessons, you know. Okay, now what we're talking about is we had the word Musa, okay? And then we'll
Mm.
put the word Isa. Okay, now who do we think's doing what? Like who's doing what now?
We would think Musa's hitting Isa,
What do you think,
but
Habib? Sorry,
Yeah, the same Musa's hitting Isa just by the sequential state of the sentence.
did you have something to add, Abdullah?
no, I agree with Habib.
So basically, we don't really know. It's not clear. You know what I mean? So we're gonna have to like try and figure out what it is. But we would assume that the person who wrote the sentence would be aware that this is a little bit, this is clear and this is a little bit unclear. So if they wanted it to be very clear, most likely they will just order it this way, as in Musa is hitting Isa. Does that make sense? If they
Yeah.
wanted to have a different order, like, and they wanted to make it like this, you know, then we wouldn't be able to tell, right? So it's not like we would have to basically figure out, because we can't tell by this word. It doesn't have any apparent sign of who's doing what in the sentence. So we would assume that Musa is hitting Isa just by like the order of the words. Is that fair?
Yeah.
We could be otherwise, but like you would hope that the author is aware that this is less clear than this one. Agreed?
Yeah. Just a quick question.
Yeah.
I mean, what do the grammarians think of that sentence? Have you ever asked someone about that sentence there? Daraba Musa Isa.
What do you mean? What do they think about it?
No, I mean, does anyone how they said, who hit who, like how have they sort of looked at that
That's
sentence?
the way I've explained it is basically what I've learned from my
Right.
teacher. It's basically like it could be this meaning, as in it could be this is the object and this is the doer of the verb. That is
Mm.
technically possible because we don't have to order the sentence. Like in English, if we say Mark hit Tom, then Mark is doing the hitting and Tom is being hit. And if we reorder it to Tom hit Mark, oh, you guys still there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, someone called my phone. So if we reorder it to Tom hit Mark, then the situation like changes. We can't reorder the words, right? So in Arabic, we can reorder the words and we can swap these places and still have the same meaning, but it's not clear. So even though technically this sentence could mean that Isa is hitting Musa, it's very unlikely that anyone who wrote this sentence would have that intention of the meaning if they ordered it in this way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if they order daraba and then they have Musa and Isa, then we would assume by the order of the words that this person is doing it and this person is being hit. If
Yeah.
we had it like this, let's say we take this word and we put this here, now we have a bit of a clue, right?
Mm.
We would think this is the doer of the verb because it's marfu'
Mm.
and there's no wow. So it doesn't mean like daraba Musa and Hamid, and then like it doesn't. If the wow is involved, then we could have it like this. Are we on the same page?
Yeah.
Mm.
So this here could mean that Musa and Hamid hit Muhammad. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
So okay, we on the same page, yeah?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, then we have Muslimani. Okay, how does so Muslimani, what does that mean? Abdullah?
Muslimani. So two Muslims, either two
Male and
males
fe
or a male and female. Yeah.
yes, correct. Okay, so if this is marfu'. If it's majroor, Habib,
Is it a yeah? Yeah. Muslimaini.
where did
A
yes.
yeah
So
after
is this
the.
yes, Muslimani. So the question I had was as well, is this in, an, like how is it a, I, U, how does this look normally?
Would that
So the word Muslim becomes two Muslims, yeah? So how does do we have this like Muslimanun?
no.
How would it be?
I think.
لا go ahead تفضل يا عبد الله.
I think it would have a kasra.
Single kasra. Okay? Muslimani. So anything we put ani, baytani, shajaratani, sayyaratani, ithnani, like anything we put ani, this is how we make it into the dual, which is called muthanna. Okay? Ani. So we remove the dhammatain thing and like that's no longer in this. This is like completely out. This is a different situation now. We're not looking at the end of the word and it's not declining like this in terms of like this or like this or like this. Agreed? The
Yeah.
end of it is ani. And the declining sign is the alif turning into a ya. So this is still what? Muslimay,
Me.
Muslimaini.
Yeah.
Okay, what if it's mansub? Abdullah?
It also is it also Muslimaini?
Muslimaini, correct. Okay, so are we following this right now, yeah?
Yeah.
Different words declining different ways. Okay, what about if we put al? So Abdullah, you just go through all three. Tell me what you think. Tell me what
Uh,
the end is and tell me what happens if we put it here and we put it here.
al Muslimani. I think it would be the
Yes,
same. And then
yes.
al
And then here,
Muslimaini. Al
yes,
Muslimaini.
correct. Does that make sense to you, Habib? Yep.
Yes.
Okay, what about this one, Habib? You do this one. So what is okay, do all these. Okay, and tell me what's the translation of this word?
Muslimataini,
Muslima
and that is mus-
tani.
Muslimatani, and that's
Mhm.
two female Muslims
Yes.
or
Okay.
Muslimas. Yeah.
Yes, correct. So it's like this. Muslima tani. How did we make this word? We've just taken the word muslimatun, female Muslim, one, and we've just changed the ta, and we've made it like Sorry, it was like this, yeah. Muslimatun. We've changed this to this and put ani on it. Correct? That makes sense to you guys?
Yeah.
So how does this look, Habib?
That would be Muslimatani.
Muslimatani. And then if it's mansub,
It would also be Muslimatani.
okay, good. And then is there any difference? Like, are we just going to apply the same rules if al is on the word? Or is it going to be
Yes.
different? It's going to be the same. Agreed? Agreed,
Yes.
Abdullah?
Agree.
Muslimatayni, and then if it's mansub, it's also muslimatayni. So when we're looking at these type of words, we're not looking at this noon with a kasra and saying, it must be majroor. Yeah, it's a completely different type of word from, masjidun. Okay, it's a dual word. So if it's marfu', there's an alif. If it's majroor, there's a ya, and if it's mansub, it's a ya. So as we
Hmm.
said, we have to now deduce. If we know this, if we see this, we know it's marfu'. We don't have to think
Hmm.
about if it's marfu' or not. It's
Hmm.
easy to tell. If we see this word like Musa, then we have to think: is it marfu' or majroor or mansub? Because we don't know. Yeah, go on.
Does that go with a lot of the dual
This is all the dual,
plurals?
all
All
the
the
dual.
dual plurals do
So
that, yeah? Okay.
it's either ani or
Mhm.
tani, depending on if
Right.
it's
Gotcha.
masculine or feminine. That's basically the way it works.
Right.
Okay. Um. Okay. So then we have what's this word mean, Abdullah? So you can do this one, yeah?
Muslimuna.
So what does that mean? So this is muslimuna with a fatha?
No,
Yes, correct.
and that's
Okay.
Muslim.
What does it mean? Sorry, what does it mean? Translate first.
I'm thinking, is it Muslimuna? Is it? I think it's 3 Muslims, like or more. I'm not sure.
3 or more, correct. Are they male, female, or male and female?
It could be all male or male and female.
Correct. Okay, so if so this just means Muslims, not the Muslims, right? So if we make this word majroor, what's going to happen?
Muslimina. So the waw will turn
Mus-
into a ya.
Correct. And this one, if it's mansub,
Muslimina.
correct. Good. I feel like I'm glad that we've done these lessons now because I feel like you guys have understood what I've said. And I was thinking last night at the end of the lesson, I was like, have I just wasted your guys' time?
La, la, la.
Um, so okay, you do this as well, Abdullah, please. So this
So
now, what is this? What's the translation first?
Sorry, Mark. On top it says Muslimuna, but it's got ya on there.
Uh,
There.
oh yeah, so this is Muslimina, yeah, correct. Jazakallah khair. Yeah. Okay, Abdullah, yours is still this one, and then Habib, you're gonna do these two, yeah? Okay,
okay,
what's this?
so
What's the translation?
the Muslims, 3 or more, all male or male and female,
Is
and
this still
then
Muslim al-Muslimuna or is it different now?
no, it's the same.
Okay, correct.
Al-Muslimina, Al-Muslimina.
Yes. So Muslimina. Yeah, so the Dhamma also changes. Like we probably didn't mention that, but I felt like that was easy to like you couldn't say like al-Muslimuyina, like you couldn't make that. So yeah. The Muslimuna becomes Muslimina, Muslimina. Okay, great. Okay, Habib, tricky one. This is you. Translate first, please,
Okay.
and then put the vowel.
Right. So uh, right, Muslimatun.
Muslimatun. Yeah, is if you say
Muslim.
muslimatun, and then if you
Mm,
pronounce it like this, then it means
mm,
a Muslim woman, like one person. Yeah.
right. So
So
Muslimatun is a lot of more than 3 Muslim women.
correct. Okay, so this one is 2 Muslim women, Muslimatan, and this is 3 or more. Correct? Is it Muslimatun or Muslimata or what is it?
This is where you're gonna get me. Um, right. If it's gonna follow, is it Muslimata?
Okay, what do you think, Abdullah?
I think it would be Muslimatun.
Yes. Okay. So now we've changed modes. We're in a different lane now. Okay. We're not even thinking about this stuff. Okay. This is a different road we're on. Okay. So atun. Atun is indefinite. And this one, what would this one be then, Habib, if we put al on it?
It'll be al-Muslima 2.
Correct.
With
Okay.
one
Now,
number.
yes, if it's so this is female Muslims, 3 or more. This is the female Muslims. Okay. So what about if it's majroor? Habib, that's your.
Uh, no, mind blank. I've got no idea on that one.
Okay, Abdullah, can you do it for us, please?
Um, would it be Muslimatin?
Yes. Okay, what if it's mansub?
Muslimatin?
Yes. Very good. Sense. So
MashaAllah.
sound feminine plural, okay, is muslimatun, muslimatin, muslimatin. Remember we said yesterday, خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ. So khalaqa is a verb. Allah is
Mhm.
doing the verb. And so we have the verb and the doer of the verb, the fi'l and the fa'il. And then we have 2 objects. The objects are going to be mansub. You know, like how we talked about here? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have Hamid, like Hamidun. He's doing the verb. So in khalaqa samawati wal arda, Allah is in the sentence. Like Allah is the one creating in this position. Yes. And so there's the verb which is khalaqa, and then Allah is in this position in the sentence, the doer of the verb. Yes. And
Yeah.
then we have as-samawati, that's the object. And al-arda is also the object. So it's like in effect, you're saying basically daraba hamidun. Hamidun is doing it. And then if we said, like, for example, bila lan. Is that how you write that? Bila lan. Something like that, right? So I think it would be like Bilalan. Okay, so basically what's happening here is who's doing the hitting and who's being hit? Abdullah.
So Hamid hit Muhammad and Bilal.
Right, so we have 2 objects in the sentence. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when we said khalaqa samawati, that's the first object. And that type of word is like this type of word. So it's mansub with the kasra. Does that make sense to you, Habib?
Yes.
Do you want me to write it out or are you okay with that?
No, I'm okay with that.
So al-muslimatu, if it's majroor, Abdullah?
Al-Muslimati.
And if it's mansub?
Al-Muslimati. Oh, I have a question.
Yeah, go on.
So for sound feminine plural, the rule would be actually so the rule would be it doesn't take a fatha, right?
Yes, that's it.
And that's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the alif doesn't change here. It doesn't become, for example, al-muslimatu, it doesn't become al-muslimaiti or whatever, right? The alif is confusing, right? Because we have an alif changing here to a ya in these words. Yeah. This is sound feminine plural. It's muslimatun, muslimatin, muslimatin. Okay? Yes?
Yeah,
Habib?
we understand. I
Abdullah,
understand.
Yeah.
you understand? Habib, you're okay with that? So
Oh,
is this
Yeah.
all confusing? Yes,
So,
but go on, go on, go on.
so for sound feminine plural and a sound masculine plural, it doesn't change. It doesn't take what you were just saying there.
No. This is sound masculine plural right here. We're not sound masculine plural. We're looking at the wow, and the wow changes to a ya. Completely different situation. Agreed?
Mm,
The
right.
sound feminine plural. This is una. This is atun. So atun
Right.
is completely different. So now we're not here. We're looking at
Right.
the second to last letter. Here we're looking at the last letter to find out
Right.
what's happening.
The sound feminine plurals just is different to the male. Is
Yes,
what it is when you said.
I think it would be more clear and also more confusing if you look at this. This is two female Muslims, Muslimatani. The kasra has nothing to do with its declining in this. It's just always ni. Okay. Here we have three or more. It's tun. Okay. Here in three or more Muslims, Muslimatun, it's the end of the word that declines. Looky here. So kasra, 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 kasra. Yeah. When we look at the dual, it's not the end of the word that changes. It's the alif that changes to a ya and a ya. You following?
Yeah, the letter in between the ta and the nun
Yes.
changes.
So when you see this, this does not become a ya. It's not the same type of word. As I said in
Mm,
the beginning of the lesson, when I show you all of this in a list, does it seem like, oh, this is really tricky and confusing? There's like a million things. Yes, but if I only tell you this only and I tell you nothing else, you would not find it hard to understand. Agreed? It's
agreed. Yeah.
just ton, tin, tin. So, okay, so it only seems confusing because I'm showing you a list of many different things that do different things, but it's only confusing because of that reason and not because each individual thing is confusing. Does that make
Mm,
sense?
Yeah.
If you
yeah.
just look at this, it's like, okay, that's pretty simple. It's easy. If we only looked at this, you wouldn't be like, you know, but when I compare it to this now, it's like, okay, that's the complexity increases. So
Mm.
in the future, moving forward, we will just look at each isolated, scenario, and then it will be easier to understand, right?
Mm. Well, from there, I'll stipulate that the sound feminine plural can only it declines at the end, and it doesn't take a fata tain or fata.
Exactly. That's all you need to know.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. Then we had the ism manqus. Do you remember how this word? So it's the same as the word for expensive. So if it's marfu', how does it look?
The same as it would all the way through.
So what's the vowels that we put here?
Kasratain.
Kasratain. So qadin. Okay. Habib, what's this one?
Qadin as well.
Okay. We didn't cover this yesterday and the day before because we didn't look at mansub that much. What is this one? Do you think, Abdullah?
It would be the same.
Okay. Do you remember this word has a ya in it, hidden? Yeah.
Oh,
When it's
Qadi.
mansub, it would be qadiyan. Okay. As I said, like if we only look at this in isolation, it's not that confusing. So in reality, each individual brick of the house is not that confusing to understand. This one, I'm just going to tell you, if we add al on the word and we say a judge becomes the judge, this is how it will look. This is pronounced with a sukun. Okay. If it's majroor, it's pronounced with a sukun. If it's mansub, it's pronounced like this. Okay. Any questions?
Nope.
Okay, so as I said, I don't want you to memorize this. All I want to do is we're going to come, like as I said, we're going to be reading through this, right? And then we'll see like, oh, this word sa'ataini, okay? And then we'll think, okay, what type of word is this? And why is it like this? And then we would come back to this and we would look at that specific rule in isolation and it would make more sense. Okay? Okay, so then now we've drawn a line here, yeah? Now we're talking about everything we're talking about down here. We're putting in the category of what, Abdullah?
Pronoun.
No, this is not a pronoun. So is it mu'rab or mabni?
Mabni.
Right. So everything above this line, if you watch this video back, okay, is called mu'rab. It's considered declinable. Normally meaning that it changes in some way to reflect if it's here or here or here. As we've discussed, this one doesn't. So Musa always remains the same, but it's still within that same category because it's a name of a person or a name of a place. and that does not fall under these 7 categories that the scholars have given us. Okay? Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
So now everything we're going to talk about now below this line here is considered mebni, as in like does not decline and does not change. It can fit into one of these boxes, but it's not considered declinable. So we say that it's fi mahalli raf'in, fi mahalli jarrin, fi mahalli nasbin. It means that it's in the place of marfu', or it's in the place of majroor, or it's in the place of mansub if it's in the sentence. But below the line, just consider that these are considered fixed and they do not decline the way we see like these words declining. Okay? Does that make sense before we carry on? We've got 15
Yeah,
minutes.
I have a question.
Go on. Yeah.
Mahalli means place?
Yeah, like fi mahalli nasbin. So in the place of nasb. Sometimes this can be like we say fi mahalli raf'in, fi mahalli jarrin, fi mahalli nasbin. So we don't have to remember that now. It's just like just like almost a different way of describing the same thing. Okay? So anta. Anta is the detached pronoun. What does it mean, Habib?
You?
You. Okay, if this is how it is if it's marfu' in the sentence. So for example, I say anta muhandis. You are an engineer. We consider this to be like, let's say, the mubtada and the khabar, and they're both this is in the place of being marfu'. And this is also marfu', muhandisun. Okay, so the mubtada and khabar are like marfu'. Okay, so if anta sits in the place of being majroor, how will it look, Abdullah?
It would be enter, but if it's attached, it would be kaf.
Exactly. Okay, so oops. Enough. Okay, so if we had, for example, I went to you, yeah, you'd say ilayka. Agreed, Habib?
Yes.
Okay, so what does that mean? That this is the what do we call this, Abdullah? What is ila in the sentence?
It's a harf jar.
And this is
Is اسم مجرور.
yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
What about huwa, Habib?
هو is حرف.
No, huwa is a pronoun. It's an ism
Right. Okay.
called ad-damir. So this is again, it's an ism. Okay, these are
Okay. Yeah.
all isms. If we're talking about this, if we're talking about these 3 cases here, we're only talking about isms. Okay,
Mm.
so ila is a harf. It's not ila can't be like majroor or mansub or marfu'. It can't be. We're talking about
Mm.
huwa is marfu'. Like huwa muhandis. He is an engineer. Huwa is in the place of being marfu' because it's the mubtada. Okay. You don't have to remember that. I'm just explaining. In that sentence, huwa is
Mm.
marfu'. Like in the place of marfu' because it's mabni.
Mm.
If we said dhahabtu ilay or ila, like I went to, do I say dhahabtu ila huwa? Or how would I make that sentence?
ذهبت إليك. But no, sorry, هو. I think you mentioned this in the last lesson.
Yes.
I, I, إلى.
What do you think? Ila, and then we add something
إلى
to it.
إلى هو.
Ilayhi. It'll be like this. Okay.
إليه. Yeah.
Now, could it be like if we say his house, we say baytuhu. Could it be like this? Like technically it could. Like I don't know if you've heard in some of the Quran. So for example, here we say an'amta alayhim. Would you agree? We say
Yeah.
alayhim. Here we're pronouncing it like him. But if we sort of say their house, we say baytuhum. Agreed?
Yeah.
Mm.
We say baytuhum. We pronounce it hum. This is just a pronunciation thing. The kasra and the dhamma are just the way that they pronounce it in certain circumstances to make it sound better. It's not declining. This is not like majroor and this one is marfu'. So even in some recitations of the Quran, we say an'amta alayhum. So here, if we say, we normally say, we say, for example, dhahabtu ilayhi. The kasra does not mean it's majroor. It's just the way that they pronounce it. Are we following the same page?
Yeah.
Yes.
So could it technically be in some ways of speaking Arabic, like ilayhu? Maybe, yeah. But it's not the kasra or a dhamma or something like that does not mean, because this is considered mabni, it doesn't decline. So huwa doesn't take a kasra. It's just the way we just pronounce it that way. That might be confusing, but I think it makes
Yeah,
sense.
no.
Right?
Do you know what? It doesn't decline, but the form changes.
Yes, and also the kasra on this word, because as I said, we say baytuhu, yeah. So that's mudaf and mudaf ilayhi. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So say I'm
Mm.
just gonna keep it. So if I say baytuhu, okay, this is mudaf, the house of him. Yes, so this is mudaf ilayhi. So this is majroor, but we don't, because what's in the place of being majroor, but we don't say baytu he because we've put it in the majroor section. This is just a pronunciation thing. Is that clear?
Mm.
Yeah.
Or if it's not clear, then you can tell me. Are we on the same page? The kasra is nothing to do with it being majroor. It's majroor even if you write it like this, technically. It's just the way we pronounce it. That's just it just preferred saying ilayhi than ilayhu. Okay?
Mhm.
Okay, if we say daraba, so for example, he hit. Do we say daraba anta, Abdullah? Or how do we say it? So now this is the object here. Anta,
Mm.
daraba anta. So you are the object. So you are now mansub. So what do we do with this?
Would also be a calf.
Yes, it would be like this. Agreed? So this is the object here. Anta
Yeah.
is the object. But if anta is marfu in the place of being marfu, it has a different form where it attaches to the word if it's going to be in the place of being majroor or mansub. Are we on the same page?
Yeah.
Habib?
Yeah, can you just go through that bit part again? Because I'm just a little bit
Okay,
confused on that bit.
let's finish this, Abdullah. How do we say this? So basically this would translate he hit him. Do we say daraba huwa, or how do we do it?
Darabaha.
That's he hit her.
Daraba. It would be who.
Darabahu. Okay. Okay, I'll explain again, Habib, and then you can ask a question, okay? Everything below this dark line is considered mabni, meaning it does not decline, but it can sit in the place of one of these three categories: marfu', mashroor, and mansub. Does that make
Right.
sense so far?
Yes.
Okay. You can't hear any background noise, is that? Can you?
No.
Okay,
No.
good. So, however, there's two types of pronouns. So, anta is fixed. It is never antu or antan or antin, or it's never like this. It's anta this is the pronoun for you, single man. Agreed?
Agree.
There's two forms of it. The detached version, as in like there's a word and it's not attached to the word. So if I say anta muhandis, I don't attach it.
No.
Muhandis. Okay, these don't attach. It's the detached pronoun,
Right.
it's called. You following?
Mhm.
If we want to put it like a harf jar, ism majroor, or for example, I want to say ibnuka, that's mudaf ilayhi. Ibnuka, your son, or the son of you. I don't use anta.
You put a cuff
I will
in it.
use the
You put a cuff
attached
at the end of it.
pronoun. Yes, we will attach it to the word, and it will just instead of thinking of it declining, think of it there's two forms. Anta is either anta It has another form where it attaches to the word, it's kaf. So
Mhm.
if we're in a situation where it's majroor or mansub, we will use the kaf with the fatha instead of anta.
Right.
So huwa, we don't say like dhahabtu ila huwa. You say dhahabtu ilayhi.
Mhm.
So we use the attached
Mhm.
one in both mansub and majroor. So if you see
Right.
huwa in the
So
sentence, it's marfu'. That whatever that is doing in the
right.
sentence, it's marfu'. It's not mansub and it's not majroor, or in the place
Right.
of.
So basically, uh, for ba then three forms like from there from above you got is it
No,
qadi?
two
No,
forms.
sorry.
Two
Right,
forms.
yeah. So the majrur,
Detached and attached. Yeah, go on.
yeah. So you got marfu, majrur, mansub. For mansub and majrur, you use a attached pronoun, and for the marfu, it's a detached pronoun,
Yes, even though
basically.
we describe it as fi mahalli jarrin or fi mahalli nasbin. So this is like here, it's mabni, so it doesn't we don't consider it to be majroor. We say it's a pronoun, which is mabni, but it's in the place of majroor. That's just the way it's described. But if you want to think of it as like, okay, this is the half jar and this is the ism majroor, that's fine. Like it's not gonna kill anybody. You know what I mean?
So yeah. So basically, yeah. What? Yeah. Sorry, my mistake. It's in the place of them. You don't. It's not actually in that state, but it's in the place of them. Yeah.
Yes, because it's not considered declinable. All we're doing is that if we need to put it in like the majroor column, then we'll attach it to the word. And if we need to
Yeah.
put it in the mansub column, we'll attach it to the word. If it's in the marfu column, it'll be separate from the word. And this is
Right
just
for him.
it has
Yeah.
two ways of looking. It either looks like
Yeah.
anta or it
For
looks
him.
like ka. So huwa either looks like
Uh,
huwa or who. Baytuhu, we don't say baytuhuwa. That's mudaf ilayhi. So it's baytuhu.
mhm.
And then this
Mhm.
kasra is a bit
So.
confusing, but this is nothing to do with it being majroor. Think of it like this.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay?
So instead of what I said, you put it in the sense of mudaf and mudaf ilayhi
Yes. So
when you put it in that sort of.
let's just think of it like this. If I say baytun, okay, and I say anta, okay, we can't say well, I can't say this means like, or let's just say baytu to make it. So now if we remove the tanween, we're saying like house of you. Yeah. So it's
Mhm.
mudaf and mudaf ilayhi. Your house. Baytu enter. But because that then would be mudaf ilayhi, which is one of the categories that we discussed as being um majroor, which is when we discussed this, right?
Mhm.
Imam masjidin. So we have a mudaf and mudaf ilayhi, correct? So because anta, if it's ever in the place of being majroor, it doesn't appear as anta. We attach it to the word. We can't say baytu anta. We have to use the attached form, which looks like that.
Baytuka.
Okay?
Yeah.
So if I want to use a harf jar like B, and I want to say, which means like, let's just say in this, like, so adhabu ma'aka, or you want to say like, I can't think of a sentence right now, but let's just say anta. I want to say B anta. Then how would I attach these words together? Because this would be a harf jar and an ism majroor. So because this can't the anta, the detached one can't be in the place of being majroor, right? If I put this like let's say be Muhammadin, this looks like this. Agreed? So we call this
Yeah.
harf jar and ism majroor. Are we on the same page with that? If we want to have harf jar and we want to say be, but we want to say anta, then we can't use this one because this only sits in the place of marfu'. And if we attach it to be, it will be ism majroor. Are you
Right. So
following?
be
So we
bika.
can't say be
Well,
anta. Yeah, we use the attached one and
yes.
we say
So
bika.
be bika.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Make sense? So when I came
Yeah.
across this, okay, I was a bit confused, but it's like, just think of it like I didn't actually know this information until like I came across it, and I was like, okay, I was trying to wrap my head around it. So basically, if you see enter in a sentence, it's not in the place of majrur or mansub. Follow?
Mm.
We had a
Yeah.
question. Okay, I'll finish with this with 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, I blocked this out for a reason, just to remind myself of something. Okay, you know how we say halu ka? What is this?
Mm.
Abdullah, how would you describe this? Because now we have an attached pronoun. Agreed?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
this attached pronoun, which is anta, cannot be marfu'. Agreed? Because we've attached it to the word. So it either has to be majroor or mansub. For the sake of time, I'll just explain it, and then you can ask a question if you need to. This is basically how is the state of you? So it's
Yeah.
mudaf and mudaf ilayhi. Okay. So state of, this is the mudaf, and this is the attached pronoun anta, and this is considered mudaf ilayhi. Agreed?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a pronoun which is considered mabni, doesn't decline, but it's sitting in the place of being majroor because we have mudaf and we have mudaf ilayhi.
Yeah.
What I was trying to explain yesterday is the anta in here is
Is
not
emphasis.
considered. It's just emphasis, and it's not considered in like being majroor or mansub or anything like that, because anta can only appear as marfu'. So if I say kayfa haluka, then we can't say kayfa halu anta. We're saying, how is the state of you, basically? And because we have the of construction, son of, bait house of the man or whatever, then we have to attach anta to the word, and it appears in this form. That makes sense?
Yes. Mm.
Yeah. It does.
Perfect. Okay. Any questions? Then let me know. Inshallah, we will continue this another time. Maybe tomorrow, inshallah. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. I'll see you in the next link. Yeah.